Hello, my name is Jim. Welcome to Patio Chat. This is the forum for all things related to truth, freedom, and love. Getting communities out on their patios talking about real-world topics to better our human condition. And I do all these in one take because life is one take. But this is actually Patio Chat number 2. Patio Chat 1 was the intro for my seminar, which was about 6 weeks ago. It's taken me a while to set things up. I've been really busy. My supporters out there probably like that I'm finally doing this. I'm going to cram a lot of information into one session. This is going to be my podcast set for now. Normally, I will have a guest. It's supposed to be a chat. Eventually, when I get a patio again, it will always be on my patio for hopefully the rest of my life. But for now, this is it. We got set up. I'll show you what I got here. I like things. I like things that have meaning. That little statue, Arizona statue there, is my mom's. Kind of looks like smoking out of a bong, but it's a cool thing. We got a lot of cool things up here, but I'll point out a few specific things. Got Marv right here. I got Marv at Area 51. A long time ago. Marv's been traveling with me ever since. I also got this at Area 51 when I went and got Marv, but that would be for another podcast altogether. So, Marv is my travel companion. We won't even get into the topic of the alien stuff yet. That's a long ways away. Then I have a hiking stick I made myself. It's pretty nice condition. Instead of get drunk once, I made this when I came out of my dark night of the soul. Look that up, people. Dark night of the soul is a very specific thing for those on the spiritual path, awakening path. Very big thing. It's a hard thing. So anyway, I got my Elvis here. Got my CD holder, and JFK will always be here in my book, and he'll know that I have a lot of respect for what JFK could have done. Had it not been for the controllers that, people who read my stuff and get into other things will get into the controller stuff later. Got Gonzaga and some other things. Interesting enough, that's a Zippo from the USS Enterprise I had when I was in the Navy. That Zippo is probably 30 years old. Still works. So, this week's podcast we're going to do, normally we'd have a guest, is going to be on the psychology of slavery. Willful slavery, or willful servitude, you might say. But what we see going around us in our society right now. So, we'll get into that as the main topic later. Every patio chat will have a main topic with a guest, and then I've got things every week or whenever I do them that I'm going to throw in fun things along the way, because the world's supposed to be, it's a learning experience, but we got to find some joy along the way, or it's not worth being here to train and learn for the spiritual path that's to come. So that's it, guys. Welcome to the Patio Chat, and let's get right into it. What's hot right now in my world, our world, whatever you want to say. First thing, I did my Wake Up Okanagan seminar on November 4th at the Omak Elks. It was a little over 6 weeks ago. I was discouraged by the low turnout, but even though I kind of expected that, but I put a lot of effort into advertising and preparation, and I put a lot of, it was disheartening, but I was doing it for the people, not for me. That was even more disheartening. So I cried a lot. I had some emotional time periods. 6 weeks of regrouping and back at it. Now I'm back on fire more than I was before the seminar. So we'll see how we go from there. I figure if we took my hours plus money I spent on that thing, it would total over 1,000 between the hours and money, if that puts it in perspective. So What I'm going to show you, though, I recorded it for personal growth. I'm not going to release it. I'm going to re-record it in a format like this, a podcast format where I can edit it. I have video editing. I'm pretty well set up now for almost where I can live broadcast. So I'm going to redo it in that format and not a live format. So I'm going to share a few things with it. Obviously, I had the t-shirts made. I had 35 of these made. I still have a bunch left. I gave them out free. I still have a bunch left. My supporters have them. Hopefully I'm going to have a lot more supporters soon enough. I made these supplemental handouts that I passed out. This is 13 pages of quotes and supplemental facts and data from things in my seminar. This came from literally 20 years of my research that I had to go back through to pick the best of and narrow it down to just these 13 pages. That took a long time on top of the seminar prep, and then I made 50 copies of these, and I still have a bunch of these left too. So this will be, I'm not going to waste them. They're still going to go out to somebody, but I'm not, I'm not upset about it. I did cover a little on weather control in the seminar. What's going on, people, you have to know by now. If you don't, you live in a state of denial I've never heard of. But I had an actual patent copy for the weather control that I had for people to look at in the seminar. So this was a big thing. Nothing about anything I do won't be backed up with facts and data. And that's why people shy away from those that know what they're talking about. They lack courage. The truth, acceptance takes courage. So this is the problem in our society. We need to get this courage to accept and do things differently. To stop what we're doing is going to take the most courage. So I'm going to share a couple things from the seminar and video real quick. One of them was a Robin Meade video. She's obviously under some form of mind control. You probably know who Robin Meade is. I think without a doubt that almost every newscaster and people you see on your TV is under some form of mind control. If you haven't already, people look into the MK Ultra, Monarch mind control, church committee hearings, Franklin cover-ups. You need to look into these things because they're out there and it's going on. Because they need to control the way we think, so the people that are telling us these things are definitely under their control. If after watching this video you don't see that she does not break down, or a signal is actually turned off, you just see a signal is actually turned off in her brain. She doesn't even move, breathe, blink, nothing. So watch this, and then I'm not going to elaborate much on after it. So, but look into mind control. The government has been doing it for a long time, and it's the ones in control of that that you've never heard of. So here we go. When they cover it over so well, they always do. I was in a trance. Yeah, okay, so I'm not going to elaborate too much, but if you can't see something in that too, that's also another state of denial I've never heard of. So, along with people who can't see the skies covered in aerosol daily. And they're usually so covered you can't see them dumping it. But wake up. I couldn't resist on this one, because this should be on every ballot box, but this was one of my slides in the seminar. I actually, in the second half of the seminar, due to the low turnout, I cut out a bunch of information and shortened it way up, because I just kind of wanted it out at that point, and I was going to do it later for real, which I will. This is all self-motivation and dedication I'm going on, people. Willpower, love of the human potential and what we could become. I'm not going to cry, try not to today. As an empath, I cry a lot, hurt a lot. People hurt me a lot. But I forgive them. They don't know what they do, I guess. I blow from time to time. I blow a lot less than I used to when I was still drinking. So anyways, we'll get into that. That's what's hot. So that'll take me right into the new ways I'm living right now. It's just, I'm never going to spend a single bit of my energy for the rest of my life contributing to the controller's agenda of this beast system. Not in any form. And if we all do this, we all do things differently, we all change the way we think and do things, and we can have it. We can have it. We can have the paradise that we've always talked about. But we'll get there, people. We'll get there. So, I'm no longer concerned with the judgment and ridicule of other people. It just fuels me now. I get it from all. I've redefined the terms friends and family over the past few months. I still have the real ones. But to say that I've lost even more than I did when I was drinking, that's an understatement. When you go to try to help people and humanity, they just don't want it. As an empath, it hurts. That's why I cry a lot. But anyways, we'll keep going. I have great love of the human potential, but I have absolute utter disgust of our current human condition. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. We're going to get to this jet noise warfare that's been going on in Oakland County for years now. I'm working on a documentary for that. I'll get to that in a second. So I'll be constantly learning new things to help people. Over the last month, I have learned the tarot. I have already studied spirituality and these things, but since I finally studied the tarot, all of the symbolism and spiritual teachings that I have researched started to make sense and come together. The Kabbalah now comes together with astrology, numerology, and symbology in the harshest of ways. I love it. The tarot was what I was meant to do, and I'm going to keep doing it, keep learning it. But the last month, that's what I've been doing between this patio chats. So, loving that. I'm working on a mini documentary right now. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. Right now I'm calling it Traders in the Okanagan Skies, because for years now we have these jets that fly over and hover in circles, rumbling. They're intentionally rumbling this awful, awful, horrible noise. There's nothing good about it. There's like nothing good about it. It's awful. And it's driving me insane, and it drives me to anger. Every time I hear it, I get angry. It's probably why they're doing it. I know it's a psyop, a torture psyop. Your military is not your military anymore. They work for other people, and they're hurting you. They're torturing us. They're not to be. Yeah, they're not what they were. So I'm calling it Traders in the Okanagan Skies. This whole month of December, I have been keeping a journal. Grab it here. This whole month of December, I've been keeping this journal right here. I'm like 18 pages into December 15th now of the jet noise. It's horrible. It's horrible. Horrible, horrible. Shouldn't have to go through it. So this journal, after December's month's done, I'm going to type it up. I'm going to do some research on the patents and the operations that are going on here, because I'll find about it. And then I'm going to put it together and present it to the county as I leave. Come March, I'll leave Okanagan County. I'll never be back. I'm going to go publish. I'm going to hit my publishing trip and relocate, and I'm out of the valley. I can't live in the jet. I call it Okinawa Valley, not Okanagan. It's horrible. It sounds like living in a war zone. 10 to 12 hours a day some days. And during this podcast, this is Friday, December 15th, by the way. Morning of, there's no noise right now. I'm trying to do this before the noise starts today. It's horrible. I'm not going to dwell on it. So, anyways, what I have to do when this noise comes in, because it comes into the house, shaking windows at times, it's so horrible. And I'll wear these earmuffs. I wear these in the house. I wear these in the house. And it'll, the documentary will cover how bad it is and how frequent. But it's so bad that I will have these on the worst days, which can be 4 to 5 days a week for years now. I'll have these on for at least 8 hours a day. My ears will hurt. Yeah, this is my best friend. I'd be dead right now. Yesterday was so bad. I call it a suicide making day. I've had probably 2 suicide close to wanting attempts because of the jet torture the military's doing to us right now. So if that's anything, yes, I want to kill myself when it's bad enough. If I didn't have these, I'd be dead already. Okay, so also on my keychain, I have to carry backup. I have earplugs in here in a container. On the worst days, because it's coming into the house, I'll have these on with those over it. And it's still sometimes I can hear. This is how bad it can get. Not all, but it's bad enough for long enough every day. It can get so bad, I'll be inside a well-insulated home with these in my ears and those over the top of my ears, and I can still hear them. So that's terrible, okay? So, enough of that. I'm moving on because I'm running low on time here. We're going to have movie talk. First off, like I said, this is Friday, December 15th, 2017. Every fanboy in the world has been waiting for today. The Last Jedi opens today. Yes, I'll be seeing it, but I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm not going to go in the mess. The Last Jedi is already getting great reviews. I can't wait. Looking forward to it. I have something to share for Star Wars in a later segment. So, with The Last Jedi, I'm looking forward. I'll have more comments on Star Wars on the next one. I'm going to probably give a little review next time I do a podcast. But aside from that, Tuesdays with Maury is... I got introduced to this... My mom introduced me to this some decade plus ago. It was made in 1999. It stars Hank Azaria and Jack Lemmon. People, go get this, buy this, watch this, keep this. This movie will literally save your soul. This movie will literally speak to your soul. It's fabulous. So, I think Oprah Winfrey originally produced this. Tuesdays with Maury. Go get it. You'll thank me for it. I leave that here all the time on my podcast set. I always want good energy here. And that, and the candles, and the things, and good energy. We need good energy. Okay. Yes, we'll have office space noises from time to time. So, that's movie talk. Next one, we're going to review The Last Jedi. Quote of the week. Mark Twain, my favorite writer. His real name was Samuel Clemens. Mark Twain was a very intelligent man. Wrote a lot. Of course, my quote of the week is going to come from Mark Twain. He won't be my last one because he's definitely got a few that I'll use later. But good quote. Chance to walk with everyone else. Just love that song. The song's called Hero by Family of the Year. I first heard that after the movie Thanks for Sharing. And this song was in the credits, and fabulous. But I use that song over my quotes because it's easy. As you read it, it's easier to fool people than to convince them they've been fooled. Absolutely. This is like my nightmare. I fight this every day, trying to wake people up. The truth is, you fight this every day, all the time. Couldn't agree more. So, every week we'll have a quote, and then now we normally would have a guest and a topic, okay? And our main topic this week, I call it the psychology of slavery. As I'm writing right now, I'm getting into this. I'm into my second novel. My first book is here. And I'm going to be on the publishing trip in the spring and kind of semi-trying right now, but this is my first novel. It is done. I will never read it again. It's pretty thick, but see, this is what I'm going to head out trying to publish soon enough. So, in my second novel, as I'm getting into these novels and podcasts, what I really want to do, what I'm going to do, I'm going back to school for a master's in psychology, maybe into a doctorate someday, I don't know. But my thesis is going to be on the psychology of our current society of slavery, where our slavery is without chains and also self-inflicted. So, this you can see right now in our society everywhere. You can see it everywhere. Just look around you. If you're on the path to awakening, if you're on the path to awareness, if you already know some of these hard truths that we're going to discuss on this show, then you're probably going to see it. So, what I'm going to go over with is just a few things. Normally we'd have a guest here, and I can't wait to do my first guest. So, what you can see in the way they drive, look at people when they all act paranoid. Okay, now freedom does not breed paranoia, so obviously they don't equate. The glove doesn't fit, right? They're paranoid because they're more and more enslaved all the time. They won't even pull up. Look at them in the turn lanes. You're supposed to pull up to get ready to turn left. They stay way back because they're afraid they're breaking the law. So by the time the car's pass and then they come up to turn left, now you're waiting again for another line of a platoon of cars. So that is obvious. You see that everywhere. This overabundance of stopping at the stop crosswalks when people haven't even got to them yet. Like they're still 5 feet away and they're ramming on brakes because they're so afraid they're going to get pulled over. I know me, I try to act like I'm not going in the crosswalk so they'll pass and then go, because I don't want to cause the problem. So I have to modify what I do because of their slavery mentality. I do it every day of my life. My whole life is a modification to slave society. My entire existence is. So just watch them. You can see it. Their paranoia is through the roof. It's way out of control. And that's not bred because they're free. Okay? Just like Gulf said, no person is enslaved as bad as one that believes they're free. Yeah, no. Okay, so not only that, now listen to their conversations. Their conversations are obvious. I have to change the subject a lot in conversations because they automatically come back to their slavery and their suffering. That's all they discuss, or they discuss their distractions, like Seahawks and alcohol or football. They discuss Kardashian reality shows, things that don't matter, just entertainment things. Or they talk about the next permit or fee or license they shouldn't be obtaining or conforming to. Or they talk about the next job that they're in because they're too afraid to go find out that their slavery is being kept that way on purpose, and they need to fight and change it. So when they are intentional slaves, they don't have the courage to break out. They can, maybe there's something I should cover first. The subconscious and the conscious mind. The conscious mind it lives in denial. Like the subconscious does not. It knows the truth and that's it, and it sees it. So the conscious mind spends a lot of time battling that because it lives in fear. So it doesn't want to accept it. So what they end up doing is subconsciously they talk about everything else to kind of justify everybody else's non-action. And so they feel like they fit right in. Their non-action isn't as bad because everybody else is a coward too. So they discuss those things. And I'm always having to change to some topic of love, something that made you laugh, feel good, something real. And it's inevitably within seconds, they're always right back to what I call another topic of slavery. Okay, guys? It's getting out of control. It needs to stop. I'm not going to spend an overabundance of time on this main topic this week because I don't have a guest to bounce things off of. So this was just kind of a quick opinion. Not opinion, it's just observation. You can see it everywhere. You see it. Look at people's faces. Look how miserable they are. Look in their faces, suffering. All of them miserable, and then they talk about their suffering amongst themselves. And then they'll go off to parades and support the very people causing their suffering. It's insane. That's insanity. That's exactly what they're doing in society. They're praising the ones keeping them that way, and then they go off and discuss it amongst themselves, and then they bring children here so they can enjoy it as well. As they say, they love them along the way. I don't want to offend anybody, but think about that. You hate it here. You bring a kid here, and so you need to make that child's life as enjoyable as possible, because you are responsible for it being here. So, anyways, stop it. This culture of conformity, this age of apathy, I call it, just terrible. When you stop it, quit it. And we're not going to talk about that anymore today, because I have no guests. So, we're going to get into some cool old stuff now. Cool old stuff. I like cool old stuff, because cool old stuff keeps us alive, keeps us interested in things, learning all the time. I need to learn every day. I'm like a sponge. I have to learn more every day. And I want to spread and share this love and things. So, anyways, my mother has this cool old wash basin. This is the coolest thing. I had to share it. It's heavy. Back in the before plumbing, homes and hotels would always have these. They'd have a wash basin in your hotel, whatever. You'd usually be sitting in there, and you'd have this pitcher of water in it. Okay, so you could get hot water and stuff. And so here you'd have your water, and then you'd dump it in your wash basin, and you would just wash up in here, your face and stuff. This is a really nice, elegant one. These would be high-end hotels would have this. My mother usually has high-end, nice things. She has good taste. So, this is a wash basin. Cool old stuff, I thought. But you're going to need this wash basin if you sound like this. That's nasty. This is called the fart machine. I'll try not to do too many for those with weak constitutions, but this originally debuted on the Howard Stern show in the 90s. I remember hearing, I used to listen to Howard Stern back then, and this debuted on the show, and I had to have one, and I found the store that finally sold them. I've had it ever since. I've literally had hours of fun with this toy. It's nasty. Okay? But this will stay on the, this is going to stay on the podcast set as well, along with my Office Space keychain. My mother got me this years ago, and I love this thing. It's got the best sounds.
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow.
Yeah. Love the movie, and I'll use this a lot. There's a lot of sayings on here. I use them a lot, and this is how I feel now.
Human beings are not meant to sit in little cubicles staring at computer screens all day.
Now, after 2 decades of engineering, I'm not staring at that anymore. I'm living a different life. So,
That would be great.
okay? Yes, I'll have the Office Space handy at all times. So, that's pretty much my cool old stuff for this week. We're going to have it I don't know, they won't be necessarily every week. Keep an eye out for them. They'll be posted on my website. So, My recommendations, we're going to get into my current recommendations. I'd like you guys, I live in Okanagan County for another 3 months. I'll be out of here. I'm all ready to go now. Finally, everything's done. I was delayed a year leaving, but now I'm ready. But if you come to Okanagan County, 12 Tribes Casino, stay there. Great place. The natives know how to build a sauna. Finally, there's a real sauna in there. The pool, the hot tub goes indoor and out. It's affordable compared to the rest of them. The casino's right there. You can go, if you're a smoker, you can go right down to, and you can go right there and smoke, not have to go outside. I loved it there. 12 Tribes Casino, thumbs up. Local sage shop here in town, for those that don't like the booze and prefer their natural herbs. They are great. Go see Brandon and Jeremy. I'm getting to know them recently. So, good people down at the sage shop. We're going to get into some recommended reading. Real quick. I'm running a little slow on the time because I don't want to run too far over here. I'm trying to keep this first one under 40 minutes. It'll probably be always around 45 minutes or so with a guest. So I'm going to get into some recommended reading real quick. We'll have truth topics. I'm not going to dwell on what we call conspiracy stuff. And it's true. True is true. Conspiracy is just a word. We get into that in my seminar. I'm not going into that here. Seminars is where you're going to learn all that, okay? Seminars is where you're going to learn some hard truths. This is more of a discussion group about any topic of truth, freedom, or love, okay? Edward Bernays wrote the book Propaganda. Okay, Edward Bernays is a nephew of Sigmund Freud, who gets into people's heads. Here he writes a book about how to do it on a national scale. Propaganda, Edward Bernays. Get it, read it. Okay? General Smedley Butler. He was a high level, highly decorated Marine. He tells a lot of truth in here. It's called War is a Racket. It's not very thick. War is a Racket, General Smedley Butler. General Smedley Butler. Get it, read it, check it out. We'll get that one later. This one's called Blood Money. This is about the Civil War and the Federal Reserve. Okay? Another one? Get it, read it. These are the big ones, guys. These are introductory to what I call the Big Four. These are the Big Four. This is written by John Remington Graham. Blood Money. Check it out. Okay? These are the Big Four. On to start with, guys, if you're wanting to get into truth of this world, who's running the show and why? Right here. Number one. Anybody starting this journey of awakening needs to start here. It's called Behold a Pale Horse. It's by Bill Cooper. William Cooper. Get this. This is where I started 25 years ago. Bill, well, not quite that long. It's 20. This is probably 20, I guess. Yeah, 20. But I had questions and things before that. Behold a Pale Horse, number one on the Big Four. Start there. Pawns in the Game by William Guy Carr. Another one. Get it? One of the Big Four. Pawns in the Game. This guy is Canadian. There's a Canadian naval officer that had written that. None Dare Call It a Conspiracy by Gary Allen. This one's harder to find. I've had this a while, hardback, without the dust cover. Okay? None Dare Call It a Conspiracy. Gary Allen. Get this. That's 3 of the Big Four. Finally, how are they able to do this? We manipulate our minds. Tavistock Institute of Human Relations. Right here, buddy. This one's frightening. This one's frightening. When you read this, you're really going to be on their way. Now, when you get scared, back off. Slow down. Absorb slowly. But the truth is the truth, needs to be accepted and known. But take your time. This was written Dr. John Coleman. Dr. John Coleman is somebody else you need to look into. Big read there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close this on up, guys. I'm running out of time. So, in closing, I say this a lot. JFK was the last one. We miss him. He would have been great. In closing, I'm going to read this because I don't have it memorized by now, but life is nothing more than a ride, albeit a dangerous one. It has killed everyone that has ever embarked on it, a roller coaster of hope and despair. But don't be discouraged. Find your inner courage. All destinations have a journey, and it is this journey that defines who we are. Defined by the knowledge of the truth that you accumulate along the way, not the material things that you seem to cherish too much. This journey is your soul's purpose. Every soul has a different purpose, and we must embrace these differences to evolve. When we try to be all the same, we devolve, which is getting worse every day. Gratitude, acceptance, and forgiveness are the tools required for this journey. Misery is easy. Happiness takes work, but the reward is worth it. This is Jim. I'll see you next time on the patio. Now, I send my love out to all. Please go to my website, myappIsLove.org. Send me emails, people, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need these subscribers. I need to grow this thing. Without subscribers, I can't do some things. We're going to head out the same way every time. And I hope I don't cry. Because I want to change this world. God-given face. You're the only one you ever believe in, the answer that can ever be found. Moment they decided to let love in. Let love in, people. That's the key. We got to do it. I hope you come back. I hope this becomes what I want it to become. I'll see you guys next time.